Welcome back to the Crypto World channel, everyone. My name is Josh, and right now, Bitcoin has seen a nice bounce along the 21-week moving average. This is a very significant moving average for all of the Bitcoin holders to pay attention to. And so the fact that we have currently bounced off this level and confirmed it as support, that is actually a bullish sign. And on top of that, we're currently forming a brand new pattern in the Bitcoin charts that I'll be explaining in just a moment and giving you guys my next Bitcoin price targets. Also in this video, I'll be covering the Bitcoin dominance, which is currently breaking to the downside, and that is actually good for the altcoins. All that and more in this video, so make sure you're watching all the way to the end so that you're not missing out on any of this important information. And if that sounds good to you, just before we jump into it, make sure to leave a like on the video down below. And if you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe to the channel with notifications turned on so that you're not missing out on any of these future videos. But anyway, with all of that out of the way, let's get straight into what this video is about. So right here, we're on the Bitcoin US dollar chart on the 1 day time frame. And as you can see just here, first of all, this green line is the 21-week moving average. And right now we have seen a nice bounce along this moving average. Over the last couple days during this short-term cool-off, we never saw a daily candle close below the 21-week moving average. So that is actually a good sign for Bitcoin. And for the brand new viewers on this channel that don't know why the 21-week moving average in particular is a very significant moving average to pay attention to for Bitcoin, zooming out here, taking a quick look at previous price history, as you can see just here, we actually broke above this moving average right here in around the beginning of May 2020. And then we started using this moving average as support and came back down to retest this exact moving average one last time during September 2020, leading into October and November for the break above this massive resistance level. And as soon as we did that, it was off to the races for Bitcoin, huge gains over the next few months. And this moving average is still significant for Bitcoin, even in more bearish time periods. For example, the second half of 2019, we were actually looking somewhat bearish here, and we were finding major resistance along this exact moving average, as well as the 2018 bear market. This exact moving average provided pretty much perfect resistance throughout that entire year. And then it was right when we broke back above that moving average in around March 2019 that basically set us up for a huge gain to the upside over the following months for Bitcoin, just as what we saw last year in 2020 leading in towards the end of the year. So what can we take away from looking at this level? Well, once again, we saw a major breakout to the upside in 2019, and the moment we broke above that level, we basically exploded to the upside over the next few months. So that happened one time in 2019 before we entered a bearish time period just here. And then in 2020, this happened only one time as well, where we did actually break above this level, find support along this level, and explode to the upside once again. And if you notice on the chart, the moment we do break back below this moving average, we do actually stay bearish for quite some time, for at least 1 to 2 months, as what we saw during 2019 and 2020 just here. And we also saw something very similar recently, as you can see just here. The moment we broke back below this moving average in around May 2021, we actually entered into a bit more of a bearish time in the market over the next couple months. But once again, the fact that we are currently breaking back above this moving average and actually finding support along this moving average, this is a good sign for as long as we can remain above the moving average, of course. And historically speaking, in this case, it is more likely for this uptrend to continue to the upside over the next few months or so. Once again, we're always going to see short-term call-offs along the way. We're always going to see, little corrections along the way. So don't expect a straight line to the upside. But yeah, we've clearly been in an uptrend for the last 3 weeks approximately. And as of right now, there isn't any major signs of this slowing down. Of course, there's signs of, a short-term call-off like the RSI, for example, entering into overbought areas and a slight little bearish divergence. That is just a sign of a short-term call-off, but not necessarily a trend reversal or anything like that. I'm not looking for a trend reversal really anytime soon. Really, the first sign that will reveal itself on the chart if we do experience any sort of trend reversal would essentially be a break of the 21-week moving average, which is coming in at roughly around $44,500 US. And of course, this moving average is changing over time. At the moment, it is changing to the downside. So, in a few days from now, it'll be coming in at more like 44,000. So if we start breaking below those sort of levels, then in that case, we could experience a little bit more bearish price action, perhaps down towards around 42 to 43,000 as our next level of support to the downside. But yeah, considering the fact that right now we have not broken below the 21-week moving average on the daily time frame just here, there's no reason as of right now to be overly bearish bearish on Bitcoin, considering the fact that we are still in an uptrend. Now, zooming into the 4-hour Bitcoin chart just here, as you can see, we are forming this pattern just here. This is actually an ascending triangle pattern, which technically speaking is a bullish pattern, so it is more likely to break out to the upside. It's not impossible for it to break to the downside. I want to make that clear, but once again, historically speaking, this pattern breaks out to the upside just more often than it breaks to the downside. But either way, even if you're not looking at the triangle pattern just here and just paying attention to the resistance, this is actually significant resistance in the immediate short term. And right now, this is coming in at roughly around 46.8k, because as you can see, we've already seen 2 rejections along that level. And right now, at the time of this video, we are battling that exact resistance level. So if Bitcoin can start breaking above 47,000 US dollars with confirmation on the charts. So for the new viewers out there, when I say confirmation, I'm looking for either a spike or a surge in volume that is backing up any sort of move to the upside. And preferably if we can see some sort of retest of that level and confirm support along that level to the upside, that would also act as extra confirmation for Bitcoin. So if we can see something like that play out, once again, that is another bullish signal in the chart. Now keep in mind, on the 4-hour time frame, we are still forming some lower highs on the Bitcoin RSI just here. So combined with the fact that the volume is still currently at these low volume levels, just continue to be cautious in around the current prices just here, because of course we haven't actually confirmed a break to the upside out of this resistance just yet. So it's only after we start trading above 47,000 US dollars that I will begin to flip much more bullish again in the immediate short term. But even if we don't break above this level immediately and find a bit more of resistance along that level, that could potentially set up something like an inverse head and shoulders pattern. As you can see just here, we've already formed a left shoulder, the head, and right now we're simply waiting on some sort of right shoulder to form. Of course, at the time of filming this video, this is a bit of speculation. I'm just letting you guys know patterns before they even finish forming. And if that did end up forming, if we did see a bit of a right shoulder form on the Bitcoin chart just here, and more importantly, if we started breaking above the neckline just here, this point of resistance at roughly around 47,000 is what I would call it, then a technical price target for an inverse head and shoulders pattern is currently coming in at roughly around 49,700. So pretty close to 50,000 US dollars per Bitcoin. So that would be a gain of about 6 to 7%, which is obviously a pretty decent gain in the short term. Because for example, with 10x leverage, that is a 60% gain, but I don't actually recommend leverage for the beginners out there. Leverage trading is actually a risky strategy. So yes, it can make you a lot of money, but it can also lose you a lot of money if you don't know what you're doing. So that's why I always say that I don't really recommend it for the beginners out there. But for those of you that do want to give trading a go, I do actually have a link to a full trading tutorial video that I did make. The link is in the description down below. So if we do see a rejection along this $47,000 level approximately, then some immediate short-term support would be coming in at roughly around 45,000 US dollars. And if we do find support just there, once again, that would set us up for that inverse head and shoulders pattern that I was just talking about. But if we start breaking below 47,000, then our next important level of support will be coming in at roughly around 43,500 US dollars, because we have seen support just here and back here as well. Anything lower than that, and we've got this entire range just here that is massive support for Bitcoin. This is ranging from 40,000 to 42,000 US dollars. So right now we do actually have quite a lot of support below the current price. And as for resistance, we only have this immediate resistance at around 47,000. We have a little bit of resistance at around 51,000, give or take, because bringing out the Fibonacci retracement tool from the all-time high down to this lowest price level just here, that actually puts the 61.8% Fibonacci level, one of the most important Fibonacci levels, right at around 51,000 US dollars. So that is why I would expect some resistance to come in at around that price level just there. Anything above the golden pocket just here, around 51 to 52,000 US dollars. Above that, we do have the 78.6% Fibonacci level coming in at roughly around 57,000 US dollars. And anything above that, it's basically just the all-time high as our final massive point of resistance. So basically, to summarize this video so far, in the immediate short term, we're looking somewhat neutral until we see a break of this exact level just there. And then after we see a break of that level with confirmation, that will set us up for a continuation of this trend to the upside that we've been in for the last 3 weeks. And quickly checking out the Bitcoin dominance chart here on the daily time frame. I mostly cover this chart in my Ethereum updates, and if I'm making any sort of altcoin videos, because believe it or not, even though it has Bitcoin in the name, this chart, if anything, is more important for the altcoins out there. Because if the Bitcoin dominance is crashing to the downside, that doesn't mean Bitcoin versus the US dollar is bearish. And same for if the Bitcoin dominance is climbing to the upside, that doesn't mean that Bitcoin versus the US dollar is bullish. Once again, all that this means is talking about the altcoins. When the dominance of Bitcoin is climbing to the upside, that means Bitcoin is stealing market share away from the altcoins. So when this is heading to the upside, the altcoins are underperforming against Bitcoin. But if the Bitcoin dominance is going to the downside, that means the altcoins are obviously gaining dominance. They are gaining more of a market share in the overall crypto market. So basically, when this is heading to the downside, that means altcoins just on average are outperforming Bitcoin. And considering the fact that we saw a break to the downside here, came back up to actually confirm this break and got a massive rejection along this level and continued further to the downside over the past couple of days. Once again, this is setting us up for a trend that we are already in. Once again, this is setting us up for some massive gains over in the altcoin market. Of course, there's always going to be exceptions to the rule. Not every single altcoin is going to have the exact same gain. And even in a full-blown altcoin season, there's still going to be some altcoins out there that are going to accrue losses because there's well over 10,000 altcoins out there. So of course, there's going to be some outliers. But yeah, especially if the Bitcoin dominance starts breaking below this level just here, coming in at roughly around 44.5%, then that could set us up for a potential altcoin season, which once again, that means that altcoins on average are going to be outperforming Bitcoin if we break below this exact level just here. And right now, the Bitcoin dominance is getting pretty close to that level. So that is something that I am paying attention to right now. And whether Bitcoin is heading to the upside, sideways, or even to the downside, I can still actually make money in Bitcoin every single day by having some of my Bitcoin sit here on my BlockFi account. This was Bitcoin that I was just going to be holding anyway on a different exchange. So I thought I might as well just chuck it on BlockFi because right now this is actually earning passive income every single day. In fact, just by storing some of my crypto on this account, this has actually gained well over $1,000 in interest, which is completely passive income. That is basically just free money for storing crypto on BlockFi. And obviously I would not be sharing this if I didn't actually use it myself. But yeah, if you want to check it out for yourself, I do actually have a link to BlockFi down below. It'll be the first link in the description. And by the way, you can actually claim a free Bitcoin bonus if you use the link down below. The free Bitcoin bonuses on BlockFi range from $15 worth of free Bitcoin up to $250 worth of Bitcoin for free. And all you have to do to claim one of those bonuses is simply just to make an account using the link down below and also make your first deposit into the account within the first 30 days of you opening the account. If you do that, you will receive that Bitcoin bonus in the following month. And the bonus that you do receive is relative to how much you actually deposit into that account within the first 30 days of that account being opened. And also, if you want to get immediate alerts as soon as I post these videos so that you're the first in the world to watch these videos and also get these extra updates throughout the day on Bitcoin, Ethereum, and other altcoins as well, definitely check out my Twitter for all of this extra content. The link to my Twitter is in the description down below if you want to stay updated at all times in these markets. But anyway, that's just about everything I have to say for this video. I really hope you enjoyed. And if you did, make sure to leave a like on the video down below. And if you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe to the channel with notifications turned on for more videos like this one. I honestly appreciate all of the support on the channel at the moment. I can't thank you guys enough. But anyway, that's just about everything I have to say for this video. Once again, I really hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you all in the next video.